Welcome back. This is chapter 6, On the Face of It, written by Susan Hill. And now I'm going to explain page number 60th and 61st to you. So here we go. Derry, you needn't think they haven't all told me that fairy story before. It's not what you look like, it's what you are inside. Handsome is as handsome does. Beauty left the monstrous beast for himself, and when she kissed him, he changed into a handsome prince. Only he wouldn't. He would have stayed a monstrous beast. I wouldn't change. Mr. Lamb. In that way? No, you won't. Derry. And no one will kiss me ever. Only my mother, and she kisses me on the other side of the face, and I don't like my mother to kiss me. She does it because she has to. Why should I like that? I don't care if nobody ever kisses me, Mr. Lamb. But do you care if you never kiss them? So here this line say, Derry replied stubbornly that he must not take him for an innocent boy. He knew the story well. It is about being beautiful from inside rather than from outside. Eventually, after her kiss of love to the monster, he changed into a handsome prince. But he won't change because no one liked his face. Lamb reacted promptly. He wouldn't. No, there wouldn't be a change, and he demanded to know what change did he mean there. The reply from Derry was that no one would ever kiss him, only his mother kissed, and that, too, on the other side of the face, just to show her love outwardly. But he didn't like such a gesture. He did not care if he was ever kissed. Next part now. Derry. What, Mr. Lamb? Girls, pretty girls, long hair and large eyes, people you love. Derry. Who'd let me? Not one. Mr. Lamb. Who can tell? Derry. I won't ever look different. When I'm as old as you, I'll look the same. I'll still only have half a face. So here this line say, Lamb, turning things round, said if he never liked kissing pretty-looking girls. Those words of Lamb greatly amazed the boy, and he wanted to know who on earth would allow him to do so, because his appearance would never get transformed into something gorgeous. He would continue to have half a face until his death. Next part now. Mr. Lamb. So you will, but the world won't. The world's got a whole face, and the world's there to be looked at. Derry. Do you think this is the world? Or this old garden, Mr. Lamb? When I'm here, not the only one, but the world as much as anywhere. Derry. Does your leg hurt you? Mr. Lamb. Tin doesn't hurt, boy. Derry. When it came off, did it? Mr. Lamb. Certainly. Derry. And now, I mean, where the tin stops at the top. Mr. Lamb. Now and then, in wet weather, it doesn't signify. So here this line say, Lamb took a positive perspective of the things and said, indeed, he wouldn't change, but the world, and this world has got a whole face, and it should be enjoyed by everyone. Then Derry questioned if that old garden was the world for him. He replied, indeed, when he was there. But the real world is wherever you are. Changing the topic then, Derry demanded to know if his leg hurt him. Lamb replied, "'T never hurt." Or then he asked further if it hurt when it came off and at the point where it stuck. Lamb replied, it certainly hurt him when it came off, but with the thin leg it seldom did, particularly in monsoon. Next part now. Derry. Oh, that's something else they all say. Look at all those people who are in pain and brave and never cry and never complain and don't feel sorry for themselves. Mr. Lamb, I haven't said it. Derry. And think of all those people worse off than you. Think you might have been blinded or born deaf or have to live in a wheelchair or be daft in your head and dribble. Mr. Lamb, and that's all true, and you know it. So here this line say, Derry remarked, changing the topic once more, what people say. They always said, pointing to certain people, how they behaved and reacted despite having problems in their life. They never complained of a thing. Furthering his point, he said, imagine those people who suffer a lot in their life because they are blind, deaf, wheelchair bound, or even mentally retarded. Lamb responded saying that was all true. He knew that quite well. Next part now. Derry, it won't make my face change. Do you know, one day a woman went by me in the street. I was at a bus stop and she was with another woman and she looked at me and she said, whispered only, I heard, she said, look at that, that's a terrible thing. That's a face only a mother could love. Mr. Lamb, so you believe everything you hear then? Derry, it was cruel. Mr. Lamb, maybe not meant as said, just something said between them. So here this line say, one day at bus stop, a woman talking to her friend said, pointing at his face as they went past him, that he had a terrible face, which only a mother could like. That was a cruel remark from the lady. Lamb questioned him if he believed everything that he heard people said, or they might have meant something else. Next part now. Derry, only I heard it. I heard. Mr. Lamb, and is that the only thing you ever heard anyone say in your life? Derry, oh no, I've heard a lot of things, Mr. Lamb. So now you keep your ears shut. Derry, you're peculiar. You say peculiar things. You ask questions I don't understand, Mr. Lamb. I like to talk, have company. You don't have to answer questions. You don't have to stop here at all. The gate's open. So here this line say, Derry plainly mentioned that he had heard that. Lamb inquired of him if that was the only thing he ever heard in his entire life, and that he should believe it only. His answer to this was obvious, and he said no. There were other things heard by him too, Lamb remarked. And then he said he must keep his ears shut then. Derry found Lamb a strange character with weird questions that he found difficult to deal with. Lamb responded. He said only he liked to talk and have company with people if he did not like a thing about him, he might leave his garden. The gate was open too. Next part now. Derry. Yes, but, Mr. Lamb, I've a hive of bees behind those trees over there. Some hear bees and they say bees buzz, but when you listen to bees for a long while, they hum, and hum means sing. I hear them singing, my bees. Derry, but I like it here. I came in because I liked it when I looked over the wall. Mr. Lamb, if you'd seen me, you'd not have come in. So here these lines say, Derry, though liked his company, but was puzzled. Lamb had a beehive in the garden, and he could hear them sing, though people said they buzzed. Derry commented since he liked it looking over the wall, he entered the garden, but Lamb said if he had seen him, he would not have entered it. Next part now. Derry. No. Mr. Lamb. No. Derry. It had been trespassing, Mr. Lamb. That's not why. Derry. I don't like being near people. When they stare, when I see them being afraid of me. Mr. Lamb. You could lock yourself up in a room and never leave it. There was a man who did that. So here these lines say, Derry replied no, because that would mean illegally entering others' property. He continued. He said he didn't like being near people because people are afraid of him. Lamb responded saying then he could lock himself in a room just as the other man who did so. So this is all for now. Thank you.